Keith, McCormick Performance Fitness, coming back to another primal movement pattern. We're going to talk about bend, which means deadlift. So deadlift, we are picking a heavy object up off the ground and bringing it up to extension. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through a couple different things here to show you the practical application of deadlifting or lifting a heavy object off the ground, which is something that we do each and every day in some instance, hopefully. So what we have here, this is a barbell, and so we're going to do a traditional deadlift with a barbell. What I'm trying to do is create tension from the top down. I'll show you what I mean when I grab this barbell. Things we want to think about here, this is hip and hamstring, so I'm going to bend from the hip hinge. So I'm pushing my hips back. One of the keys here is we want a very straight spine through the duration of this exercise. That's the key. I'm activating the posterior chain. Posterior chain is going to be from here all the way down through the butt, hamstrings, and down to my Achilles and heels. So I want to create tension from the top down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up with my feet right underneath my hips. I want to create tension, so I'm going to draw my belly button in, externally rotate my shoulders. I'm creating this tension. Now I'm going to bend from my hips, pushing my hips back, and to further create tension, I'm going to pull on the barbell and send my tailbone back. And now I'm pulling up and I'm getting that extension through my knees and my hips. All right? So I created tension the whole time in that lift. Okay? So one more time, I'm going to address the barbell, create tension, core's engaged, butt's tight. Now I'm going to push my hips back. I want to pull down on the bar, tailbone goes back, and I pull this right up. So spine was straight the whole time. I didn't have any kind of flex up there, any kind of C posture in that thoracic spine. Keep a nice straight back. Here's another practical application of a deadlift. Come on over here. We have an unusual object. So this is a heavy ball, but it has sand in it. So it's just kind of weird. So you address this, how am I going to pick this up? We're going to deadlift it, but it's a little bit different than that barbell. I'm going to get a little bit wider stance, and I'm going to have that right underneath basically my center of gravity, okay? So I'm going to try to maintain that straight spinal posture. The spine should never bend in flexion or get too extended. So same rules apply here. I'm going to create tension in my core. I'm going to push my hips back. I'm just going to pick this thing up. All right, so the difference was I got a little bit wider base of support, which is something that's probably going to be more natural if I were out in the yard trying to pick up a rock or something like that. So what you want to maintain here is tension, good spinal posture, push this back, and just driving right up with it. All right, that was some deadlifting. I had fun. I have a good hip hinge, I feel like, which is really good to complement really good hip extension like with our squat. All right, thanks a lot.